This is episode 11 of Ask Mogz Anything, the series where I answer questions from you guys about Sideswipe and about myself. In this special Champion edition, we're replacing my awful gameplay footage with awesome gameplay from Champion ranked players. All of the gameplay shown in this video and all of the questions answered in this video came from my Discord server. If you want to submit your own gameplay or questions for future episodes, come join the Mogz Discord server. The details are on screen and in the video description. Alright, let's get into the first match and the first question. Alright, so the first question comes from a player named Jojo for Life, and they ask, "Hey Mogz, what's your favorite mechanic in Sideswipe?" My favorite mechanic, yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I usually say that the purple flick is probably my favorite, and I do love that mechanic. It's really useful and I think totally underrated. But favorite mechanic, I mean, you can't really go past stalls. Like, stalls are just so incredibly useful. I can't imagine putting anything above them. They say it's basically a free hit on the ball. Like, it's, you know, you can get some boost back, you can get you flip back, you get a free little hit on it, so you kind of hit the ball, you know, either up or whatever direction you want. And it's kind of a fake at the same time. You can lead into any other mechanic, like you can lead into a gold shot, get a really powerful gold shot because you get that first touch with the stall. And it's just, it should really just be the basis of all movement, you know. It's better than an air dribble because it doesn't use any boost, and it's just so good. So I would say that if I had to put one mechanic right at the top, it would be stalls, 100%. Alright, next one comes from Pixel Nerd 05 slash thing Simon, and they ask, is it possible to stall or chain stall with touch, or is it just controller? If it's possible, how? I mean, it's really the same with controller. There's no difference. It's just that the button you're using for half air roll is not L1 or R, or L2 or whatever. It's the hidden air roll button on the right side of your screen. So yeah, it's 100% possible. In fact, Jelly, the player that I use in a lot of my videos these days, because he's so good at mechanics, is a touch player, and he's absolutely insane at stalls. So, and as far, I'm not sure about Mr. Mage M. He might be controller. I can't remember exactly, but Jelly's really good at mechanics and including stalls, and he's touch. So yeah, it's 100% possible. It's just probably more difficult for players who are not experienced on touch. Like myself, I'm terrible on touch. It takes me ages it took me ages to learn how to do stall chains on touch, and I'm still awful at them. So I think it's just, it's kind of more of a learning curve on touch, whereas controller, it's kind of easier to just pick up. But the skill ceiling for both, I think, is exactly the same. So yeah, 100% possible, dude. It's just difficult, that's all. All right, next question comes from Coast, and they ask, can you sell cars for in-game currency? Yep, super easy to sell cars. You just go into your garage, go into your cars list, and then you just click on the name of the car. It's got a little, I think it's got like an exclamation mark. Click on that, and you can just sell it just like every other item. Yeah, 100% possible. Very, very easy. All right, next one comes from F1 so Fimpulse. F-Impulse, I don't know. And they ask, what is your preferred car other than the Octane or Fennec? If it's another one of the smaller cars, is there any larger car bodies that you enjoyed using? To the second question, no. Actually, back in the early days, I used to use the Diestro for, I don't know, a few days or something. I found some old clips of myself using the Diestro, which is just embarrassing because it's one of the worst cars in the game by far. So I think, no, like the long cars, I don't like any of them. I mean, there's just no reason to use them because they just sit so far outside the hitbox. Like, the hitbox is designed for the Octane, really. It's kind of around about the Octane. It doesn't fit perfectly on the Octane, but it's very close. So any of the shorter cars are just better. I mean, there's no contest really. So Octane, Fennec, Scarab, because it's a really square car. Takumi as well is really good. I don't know, do you guys say Takumi? I don't know what you guys say. I live in Japan, so my pronunciation of that is like Japanese. So Takumi. And What else? The twins are obviously, because it's basically like an octane, and the marauder. They're probably all the top hitboxes. I don't think I'm missing any. Yeah, maybe one of the new cars, like the Venom, maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, let me just look at my hitbox video. But yeah, my preferred car, Octane, Fennec. I don't use anything else. The Scarab's probably the other one. So Octane, Fennec, Scarab would be my top 3 cars. Definitely. I wouldn't choose any over them. And the Scarab, I mean, the Scarab's arguably like the best car in the game if you just ignore the top. Because the top, I mean, it doesn't matter if it gets cut off a little bit, who cares? Yeah, and I think there was another question I read in the Discord AMA channel, which was like, why do all the pros use Scarab? Yeah, I think it's probably kind of the best car. Yeah, in terms of the hitbox, it's just so square that the hitbox just almost fits perfectly. So anyway, yeah, good question. All right, next one comes from Zeno, and they ask, hey Mogz, I hit plat 1 in 1s and I use the 2-thumb method. I watched your video on 2 thumbs. I can't adapt to 3 thumbs. And some people commented their GC and champion use 2 thumbs, so should I still switch? Yeah, I mean, I don't think... I would love to see the hand cam of a GC who uses 2 thumbs. I doubt it's possible. I don't know. Is that possible? I think GCs these days anyway use so many stalls and crazy stuff that it's just not really viable to do it with 2 thumbs. How your thumbs would be going insane. I'd love to see the hand cam, honestly. Please, if someone has a hand cam of someone GC with 2 thumbs, please send it to me. I'd love to see that. I'd make a whole video about that. Of this insane player that no one is like. No one can believe that he exists. Champ, I mean, yeah, you could probably get there. Maybe low champ. I can't imagine getting to mid or high champ, but anyway. I would definitely recommend switching. Yeah, I think you gotta go 3 fingers at least, because you want 1 finger to kind of move around and do half air rolls and stuff. Yeah, and even 4. I mean, some people go like thumb on the left for joystick and then 3 fingers on the side, and 1 is just like a dedicated half air roll button. That's probably ideal. Like, I would say that's probably the best grip style. But if you have a small phone rather than like a tablet, it's probably difficult because you get too many fingers on the screen. So I would say if you have a small phone, then 3 fingers is best. If you have a tablet, maybe 4 fingers, it works really well. Yeah, I would definitely recommend switching 100%. Unless your phone's like a ridiculously tiny, I don't know, iPhone 7 or something, then maybe not. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, next question comes from Ski Days. And they ask, what's the most important mechanic to learn? Yeah, I mean, I kind of already answered that, didn't I? I already said like my favorite mechanic, so stalls. Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing, stalls. But it depends on your rank. Like this guy's, say, what, plat 1. Most important mechanic. Good question. Probably gold shots then, if you're only plat 1. Yeah, for the lower, say under plat, or under diamond, maybe. No, let's say under like plat 3. You should probably focus on getting your gold shots, so like horse kicks and stuff, like when you're on the ground, gold shotting it into the goal. And also just getting power on your gold shots from long range. I would say that's really important. And then also maybe if I can pick 2, I would say like ceiling pinches. They're just so good for just forcing your opponent to make a save. You might not score that many of them, but they're just a really good mechanic to be consistent with and get like really good powerful hits on. So I'd say those 2, gold shots and ceiling pinches. Yeah, good question. All right, next one comes from Joshua BOI, Joshua Boy, and they ask, which is more important, gold shots or purple shots? Hands down, gold shots. There's no way purple, no one's ever going to pick purple shots as being more important than gold shots. You get more power on gold shots. They're like, you can do more with them. Like there's more situations where you can use gold shots really effectively. Purple shots are good for like purple flicks and for ceiling resets, do a ceiling reset and then purple shot it kind of off the ceiling. That's a really good use of purple shots. Other than that, they're not really that useful. Like you can get some, there are some kind of weird cases that you can use them really effectively. But gold shots, you'll just find there's so many use cases for them that 100% gold shots are more important. But yeah, that's a good question though. Next one comes from Toxic Man Down 16. And they ask, hey Mogz, how can I get out of plat in ones? I already made a get out of plat video, which is focused on ones. And it looks like you already got out of plat. I mean, maybe you're diamond in twos. Yeah, but I would say plat is all about beating the picnic. So, because the defensive style of plat 1v1s players is to picnic. So and it still is, even like I made that plat get out of plat video a long time ago, but it still is like I was just playing in plat and yeah, everyone picnics. So the most important thing there is to have a variety of ways that you finish your air dribbles, because you're just going to be taking the ball from the ground and air dribbling it towards the goal, and then they're just going to be picnicking the whole time. So you want to just have a variety of ways of dealing with that. So maybe the most important one is to pancake on your 50s. So air dribble the ball towards them, then they'll come and challenge, and then you can pancake and try to push the ball past them. And that's just kind of your foundation. And then on top of that, instead of doing that every single time, you can do things like just mix up your air dribbles. So sometimes take an early shot, sometimes maybe you could like gold shot it or pepper shot it or something off the ceiling down to yourself, and then continue your play. Sometimes just like 50, like just pancake the whole way and just 50 them into the 50 them into goal, try to push it past them. So you just want to have a variety of ways to finish your kind of solo plays like air dribbles. But as a foundation, definitely pancake into those 50s. Don't flip into it. Because you would just, more often than not, you'll probably get scored on yourself. So anyway, that's kind of my general advice for getting out of plat in ones, 100%. Okay, that's the last question about Sideswipe. The rest of the questions are about me, about maybe my general thoughts about Sideswipe, or my kind of more personal stuff about what I did before I made YouTube videos, or yeah, just other stuff. And if you don't care about me, then I don't know why you're watching the video, because this is all about me, bro. No, I'm just kidding. If you don't care about that, then you can switch off now. All right, so the first question about the Mogmeister comes from Ziner, and he asks, what do you like to do in your free time except gaming, basically your hobbies are other than gaming and making content? Yeah, good question. I mean, gaming is really my main hobby. I mean, that's what I want to do with pretty much all my free time. I mean, other than like hanging out with a friend or hanging out with my brother, but the thing is, my brother lives overseas, and my best friends all live, in Australia and stuff. So I play games with them. I mean, that's my main hobby. So I play Rocket League every single day. I play some other stuff, like some random other games like Deep Rock Galactic, and just other like co-op games. Me and my friends and my brother all play together. Other than that, I mean, most of you know that I have children. Like I'm married, I got kids, so I spend time with my kids. I mean, that's also one of my favorite things to do. So I hang out with them, go out with them. They're all young though. They're like between 3 and 5, so really young. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. Watching stuff. I'm watching Vinland Saga at the moment, which is like an anime show. So I watch shows. I watch movies, and yeah, I mean, most of my stuff's on screens, really. Like, my whole life's really on my computer. Other than that, I don't know. What do I like to do? Go to restaurants and hang out at cafes, maybe have some coffee. I love coffee. I make coffee at home as well. I used to play guitar, but I don't really play anymore. Yeah, I honestly don't really have hobbies. Like my main hobby is making videos and playing games. So good question though. Our next one comes from Freezy, and they ask, sorry, I don't want to misgender you. Are you going to do a face reveal soon? No, I probably won't. I probably will never do one. I don't really want to. Maybe when I have like 1 million subs, I might do it. if that ever happens. But I don't really want to be famous. Like, I'm a pretty quiet person. I don't like invasions of privacy at all. I don't want to. No, probably never. Next one comes from, why the hell is the server's name Mogz isn't one enough? So they're talking about, this question is from Firefeet. They're talking about the Discord server, and I named it Mogz. And the reason for that, I mean, because I'm an idiot, obviously, but when I first created the server, I just thought Mogz, like, that just made me, I just thought that was funny, Mogz, you know, so I just thought I'd just extend it, make it Mogz. But, like, you gotta remember, I made this server when I had, like, 1,000 subs or 2,000 subs on YouTube, so I didn't expect anyone to join it. Like, I just made it because someone suggested, oh, why don't you have a Discord server or something. I didn't even know how to use Discord, so yeah, I was just being an idiot, and I just kept it because I thought it was funny. That's the only reason. Next one comes from Sogs, who's one of my Discord admins, and he asks, top 3 films of all time, and he spelled of all time wrong, but yeah, no worries. Every time anyone asks me what's my favorite film, I always say Cloud Atlas, which I don't know if that's strictly true, but I do love that movie. It's one of the most unique, interesting movies I've ever seen, and I love the acting. It's just beautiful. Other than that, I really love this little Will Ferrell movie called Land of the Lost. It's got really low ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's just so funny, and for me, that's just a classic. Me and my brother love watching that together, so that I would have to put that up in my favorite films. Other than that, I always think of Pulp Fiction. That's kind of a classic movie that is just entertaining. No matter, it's kind of similar to Cloud Atlas actually, in the sense that it's like multiple different storylines kind of all put together, and they kind of link up. So I think I like those kind of movies. So Pulp Fiction definitely is up there. Yeah, anyway, those are my top 3, I would say. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of others I'm missing that are amazing, but anyway, yeah. Next one comes from Learn from Zin, and they ask, hey Mogz, do you think I can be in your video someday? No, never. You'll never get in one, ever. Alright, next one comes from Ayushman, and they ask, well, it's pictures of a he, so it's a he. Mogz, what is your dream to do in future days, and did you think you should play any other games? I guess you mean, like, should I play any other games on my channel? And yeah, if that's the case, yeah, I mean, I would love to, but every time I try to do videos on other games, they don't really get many views, so I can't really continue it. Other than my Omega Strikers videos, which did okay, didn't do too badly, but I'm not really into that game, so I couldn't. Yeah, I really want to cover content that I'm interested in myself, rather than just like for views. I'm not into just doing things for views. So yeah, but I definitely want to get into other games, 100%. What's your dreams to do in future days? Continue making videos. That's all I want to do. You know, that's my main passion in life, is videos and my family. That's it, really. So yeah, I just want to keep the channel going and grow it as much as I can. Next one comes from One Cube, and they ask, who inspired you to play Rocket League / Sideswipe? Okay, so for Rocket League, the player who introduced me to the game was my older brother. And actually, I went back into my emails and found an email from him, found the very first email from him that told me about the game. And I'll just read it to you. So he said, hey bros, have you heard of this? And he sent a link to some Rocket League article. He said, it's a soccer game where you drive your car and bounce around a giant ball. Great reviews and only $20. That was all the way back in August 2015. I ignored that email because I thought this is just another game that my brother was sending me. I was like, whatever, sounds dumb. And then he sent me another email on August 17th, so a week later, saying, hey bros, give this a go. It could be awesome to play 3-player. And he sent me the torrent link, like to download it illegally, which I don't even know how you would play online, but anyway, there you go. And I think we ignored that one as well, me and my brother. And anyway, we eventually replied like maybe 2 weeks later or something, and we started playing it, and I honestly completely fell in love with it. So thank you to my older bro for introducing me to it. And then I also found, so for Sideswipe, the player who introduced me to it, I actually went back on my Discord, because for all of you who don't know, I used to just be a Rocket League YouTuber. I didn't do any Sideswipe content, because Sideswipe wasn't even out yet. But I found a player named Zenez who messaged on my Discord telling me about, or just kind of asking in general, has anyone played Sideswipe? And so yeah, thank you to him for introducing me to it. I didn't even know about the game at all, I think, until he mentioned it. So yeah. Anyway, so that was a cool question. Thank you for to Kubbi for the question. Next one comes from Duxyar, and they ask, what did you do before Sideswipe or before you started YouTube? Before I started doing Sideswipe content, I did Rocket League content only. That was like my main thing. And before I started YouTube, I ran a store in Japan, like an online store, and I was an English teacher. And both of those things I still do, but now I just focus mostly on YouTube. So yeah, that's what I did before. Yeah. And next question, and the last question, comes from Zyner again, and they ask, why do you keep your Discord status offline most of the time? This is similar to like why I don't do a face reveal, and that's because I just like privacy, and I don't, and also I don't want to get messages. Like if I come online, I'll just get a ton of messages, and I'd rather not get that. So I just engage when I kind of want to engage, and the rest of the time I just, I'm working or I'm not there anyway. So yeah, that's the reason. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone for your questions. I really appreciate them. This time we had a ton of questions because I think my last AMA video did really well. So I had so many to go through. So I'm sorry if I missed any of yours. But yeah, ask them again, and I'll hopefully get to them next episode. But yeah, as usual, guys, if you want to submit your questions for future episodes of the AMA series, then come join the Mogz Discord server and put them in the Ask Mogz channel. You don't have to tag me or anything in that. Don't reply to me. Just type your question, and hopefully it'll make it into a video. And they can be questions about Sideswipe, about me, or about whatever you want, really. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.